Hello everybody, it's Philly Cuts with another Hump Day Haul. We are up to number 83, where every week I get together with you dudes and we talk about the stack of comic books that I got for the week. Each Wednesday, no big whoop. Alright, we got some pretty cool stuff going on this week. Number one, when you go to your comic book shop, make sure that you ask if they have the free DC Previews magazine. It's thick, it's pretty brolic, and it's chock full of information about the whole DC Rebirth event, which I'm still pretty confused about, but I'm going to definitely be reading and looking this over and learning in great detail about all the new things that are going to be afoot in the DC universe. And it gives drop dates, new storylines and plots, all kinds of stuff. So I'm glad they're doing this. DC getting serious, wanting people to buy. So don't forget, when you're at your shop, it's free. Ask for the DC Previews magazine. I'm pretty sure you should probably buy something, dude, before you ask for it. Just saying. You know what I mean? Alright, so I got like 11 titles this week. I had to drop a title, actually. Empty Zone number 7 came out. I do have Empty Zone number 6, but I just wasn't feeling it anymore. And I may just trade weight and get it then. So, Empty Zone has been put to sleep on the keep and sleep status. Alright, let's get right into it. Superman. We got Batman Superman number 31. Now, if you bought Superman last week, you have learned that New 52 Superman is dying. He's already been dying, right? They've dice-sliced, ripped New 52 Superman to shreds, right? They got rid of his whole Clark Kent alter ego. They depowered him. Well, he's dying, folks. He is dying. Now, this is setting off, well, actually, last week's Superman, number 51, is setting off an 8-part story, okay? Written by Peter Tomasi, and it's going to have direct implications into all the Rebirth Superman. So, pretty phenomenal. I'm reading an article here that through solicitations, it's already been learned that New 52's Superman's powers are going to be given to other characters, and it looks like Lois Lane is going to become Superwoman. A Chinese man named Kenji Khan is going to become star of the new Jean Yang new Superman title, and I guess even Supergirl herself is going to get some of these powers. Now, the older, married, post-crisis Superman will be taking over the Superman title. So that's going to be the main title, Post-Crisis Superman. And that's going to be written by Tomasi and Pat Gleason. And also a super-suit-clad Lex Luthor will be the co-star of Jan Jorgen's Action Comics, which is going to be numbered back in its former self. I don't know what it's on, like 950-something. So that will be pretty cool. But lots of crazy stuff in here. And I guess in this issue you have Superman recruiting the help, getting Batman to help him track down Superwoman. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how this goes. I figured that DC was going to have to get one more ounce of crossover mayhem before they put this New 52 to rest with the Superman titles. And yeah, so make sure that you're getting Superman, Action Comics, Batman, Superman, and Superman Wonder Woman, because it's going to span the last 2 issues of all those issues, peeps. Looks like we got some cool stuff going on in here. The Rodney Dangerfield of Superman, New 52 Superman. See you later, baby. Okay, now we have Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 5. And look at this cover, dude. You got Shredder on top of Arkham Asylum's sign, the gate, and all hell is breaking loose with Joker in the front. The last issue ended with Shredder showing up to Arkham Asylum with some mutagen, right? The substance that turned the Turtles into the Turtles. So it looks like we may be having some anthropomorphized villains of Gotham. Now, how weird is that going to be? Now, I'm going to give you a little teaser here. We do have the Penguin in his new bad self, anthropomorphized. Oh, yeah. Now, I don't know what the Joker's going to turn into. I don't know what the Riddler is going to turn into. I guess we'll have to find out. This series has just kind of been, you know, a fanboy's wet dream. Whether you're a fanboy of the Turtles or Batman or both, you know, it's kind of been playing out some fantasies. What if the Turtles fought Batman? That's already happened. In this issue, we have Robin, the Boy Wonder, doing battles against the Turtles, which is shaping up to look like a pretty cool affair. Casey Jones has made an appearance. He's actually been arrested and detained by the Gotham City Police in this issue. So all kinds of just crazy stuff in here. The artwork of, oh God, Freddie Williams, I think keeps getting better and better each issue. I'm digging the Batman, even though before I was kind of complaining that he was a bit too stocky, too blocky. Which he is a little bit, but in some panels he does look great, and I think the way that he makes the Turtles look is phenomenal. And Leonardo is in trouble in this because their mutagen, the Turtles' mutagen is like wearing off, I guess, being in Gotham. So they have that dilemma going on too. They got to get back home, people. So check that out. Now we have Green Lantern Corp's Edge of Oblivion #4. The Corps is in disarray, man. They've been fighting with one another. In particular, Kilowog, Guy Gardner have not been getting along. They've been scrapping a bit based upon decisions that have been made that have sacrificed the lives of certain Green Lantern Corp members. In particular, B-Dig, everybody's favorite talking squirrel, who was a key part in Green Lantern, whatever the title was of the last miniseries. He was key. He was key in getting the Green Lanterns to escape. And the fish creature, what the hell is his name? Muck, I think. They're peace, folks. They're gone. Well, it turns out that we learn a lot more information about Marinelle. She's this nasty-looking woman who lives inside the core of this planet, the last living planet in this lost universe that the Green Lanterns are abandoned and marooned on, rather. There she is there. She's gotten control of some of the Green Lantern's rings. It's making her all nasty and powerful. So we learn a lot more about her, but there may be a twist and turn in this story as well, that the original giants that the Green Lanterns were trying to help may not be who they are after all. So there might be a big twist and turn in here. Ethan Van Sciver's doing the artwork primarily on this title, and it looks great. So, highly recommend you guys check this out. I'm kind of thinking it's just a foregone conclusion. You know, the Green Lanterns are going to make their way out of this, right? How can they not, right? All right, we got Selina Kyle, Catwoman, #51. I got to say that Frank Thierry is writing a very good Catwoman. I'm sad to see that this is not going to survive into Rebirth. Catwoman is going the way of the dodo bird. Artist Anako Miranda also has been doing great work, I think, on this title as well. This is a story that was kind of teased in Catwoman #50. It was kind of one of those small little stories at the end of the issue. It's about the Faceless Mask, which I guess is a big part of the False Face Society. And I guess that has a lot to do with Selina Kyle's history. There's some flashbacking going on in this issue when Selina Kyle was young and in love, just kind of starting out her thieving career. You know, she would kind of hit up jewelry stores with peeps and kind of rip places off that way. we're introduced to some of these characters of the Faceless Society, one of which is named the White Mask. Now, I don't know how the Black Mask, Sedona, is feeling about that, but there they are, people. And it turns out that this mask has some pretty creepy powers, and it will be interesting to see what connections that has to Selina Kyle. I just love the paneling and the layouts that have been happening in Catwoman as of late, since the team of Thierry and Miranda have taken over. It's been pretty cool. And I am pretty sad to see Catwoman go, but I'm sure, she'll be back in some capacity. Probably miniseries and most certainly in appearances. Okay, we have Constantine. Tinian Doyle, dude. Writing Constantine. One of DC's only bisexual characters. We learn a little bit more about the conflict that Mr. Constantine is having with his male lover. So that has been interesting. But more importantly, Boston Brand, the dead man, makes an appearance in this issue. Neron has taken over NYC. Okay, I guess Neron's this big, powerful demon from hell. He's taken over New York City, and that has displaced many of New York City's magic people, like magicians, demonologists, demons themselves, and they're homeless. So what was pretty cool in the last issue was you did see, or the last couple issues, you did see Constantine pay a visit to one of the cities of hell. I forget what the name of it was. It was pretty cool to see hell structured as a society, highly ordered. Kind of reminded me a bit of Hellraiser in the sense that hell is very, organized and has a lot of rules and everything. And Constantine needs to get his mojo back here because he's in Los Angeles, Orange County, California, and things are going freaking crazy there, folks. It's like a literal wonderland because things are afoot here. There's lots of homeless magic people. I don't know if that's Puff the Magic Dragon or what, but I'm having a lot of fun reading Constantine. And again, that is going to survive Rebirth. I think it's going to be one of the monthly titles instead of one of the bi-monthly titles. Now, I got 2 books from Marvel, both of which are Star Wars related, one of which is a one-shot. We have C-3PO, people, and the interesting thing about this book is that it gives the whole origin behind C-3PO's new red arm. Now, I guess if you've read other books on Star Wars, it did reveal why C-3PO has this red arm. It's to commemorate another droid that actually sacrificed its life for C-3PO on a mission that they were both on together. Well, this issue breaks down the whole incident, the whole event. So that's pretty cool, dude. Pretty cool. The artist, Tony Harris, paints a pretty kind of psychedelic picture. I mean, the artwork is very, very unique, so to say. Just the reflections that are in C-3PO's armor and stuff. It looks really, really cool. Really, really unique. And the writer, too, is also investigating many different things. James Robinson is the writer, concerning droids, and also if they can feel, how they feel about being so expendable. Do they develop feelings for one another? I'm thinking it's an obvious yes, because this droid has sacrificed itself for 3PO. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. It's billed as a one-shot. I don't know if they're ever going to come back to C-3PO. Because I don't know, I just always get weirded out when I see these Marvel titles and they're numbered like 001, right? Like I feel like they're going to come back to it or something. I don't know. Alright, now the other Marvel title I got was Darth Vader, number 19. The war with Shoturin continues. In my opinion, it's kind of dragged on a little bit. Darth Vader laying the smackdown on some ore barons. on the planet. Oh God, I don't even remember what the hell the name of the planet is. It doesn't really even matter. Oh, Shoturin. Shoturin War, Shoturin Planet. He has to layeth the smackdown to get this material for the Empire. Now, the cool thing is there are some lightsaber battles in here. You do have Darth Vader having to deal with Silo, who is this guy that's been kind of commissioned by the Emperor to create these like bionic droids that have a lot of superpowers and stuff, and that were kind of seemingly being ushered in to take over the likes of Darth Vader and his Sith Lord magicry. I'm just creating new words in this comic book haul. So it'll be interesting to see where those guys bump off and lead up to, if they're going to have a big conflict or not. And I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler. At the end of this issue, a Sherlock Holmes-looking character makes another appearance that was quite the thorn in the side of Lord Vader. Oh, I don't know, maybe about 4 or 5 issues ago. But he's very Sherlock Holmesy. But it doesn't look like too much happens in this issue, and it kind of seems like it's just going to be a foregone conclusion. Here's the princess that he's kind of doing battle against. He actually put her into power, but it's turning out to be maybe a bad move for the Lord. Okay, Dark Horse. I got a couple issues. Big issue number 32 for Abe Sapien. And I'm loving this cover, dude. If you look at the silhouette here, it is Professor Broomhome. And if you look deeper into that silhouette, you see a tape recorder and some tapes. Abe Sapien has trekked back to New York City, and he has found some tapes hidden inside a grandfather clock, cassette tapes. I think this is taking place in the 80s, right? Hence the cassettes. And it turns out that he finds a treasure trove of information about himself and his origins. And these were interviews that he had done with Broomhome. I'm guessing he might have forgotten about them, or maybe he was hypnotized to forget about them. But it turns out that BPRD has known a lot more about his origins than they ever let on. And that's kind of been like a theme with Abe Sapien and the whole BPRD saga and Hellboy saga, is that you've kind of gotten this slow drip of information concerning Abe Sapien, right? Who he is, what his purpose is, what his ultimate destiny is. He seems to be a link of a more highly evolved human, of what the future of humanity is going to hold. Because all hell has been breaking loose with BPRD. If you've been reading BPRD, Hell on Earth, you'll know what I'm talking about. So you're going to learn more information in this issue. I'm reading about the Own Society, who did turn Landon Everett Call. That's who Abe Sapien was when he was a person, when he was a human being. London Everett Call. You're going to learn more about the Own Society. And a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't really want to give away. Now, the last couple issues have focused on the demonologist Gustav Strobel and his Black School of Magic. And it's looking like that him and Abe Sapien are going to be headed for a big, big showdown. So amazing, dude, because I think that Abe Sapien, much like BPRD Hell on Earth, is going to be wrapping up soon. I think that the series is going to be ending by this summer. So I'll be sad to see that go, dude. I will really be sad to see that go. But I can't wait to learn more and more information about Abe Sapien, you know, and his purpose and his destiny and his quest, you know what I mean? You know? We all got to have a purpose in life. All right, Cullen Bunn, his magnus opus, I believe, Harrow County, number 11. The story continues to focus on Emma's best friend, Bernice, the young African-American female who has stood by Emma through thick and thin while she learns more about her witch mother. Now, it turns out that Bernice is on a quest to help a local boy whose father has been bitten by a snake. And this mysterious woman, look at all these snakes that she's keeping in the common bun jars, people. She's keeping a whole bunch of these moccasins in here. Turns out that Bernice and this boy have figured out that there's this old woman who has been up to no good with these snakes. They follow her back to her house, and the young boy's father, I believe, has been bit by one of these snakes, and they gotta save him. But first they run into a whole bunch of nasty, creepy, crawly stuff, mainly demonically possessed possums, people. And it's more than just one, dude. You look up in the trees and you see a whole flock of them. So I can't wait to see what connection that this woman may have to Emma's witch mother. You know, I'm starting to think maybe there's like a coven of witches going on here. I don't know. I can't wait to keep reading further, and you get a bit of history about this witch woman and the stuff that she was doing with snakes and why she became so intrigued by snakes. The artwork of Tyler Crook in this series, man, you know, the watercolors is just phenomenal. It's one of the main reasons why I keep buying this book. And I rarely buy books just for the art, but, you know, with the combined magic of Cullen Bunn's words, you know, this is just a great book. And I'm glad to see the development of another character other than Emma. It's nice to see. So, check it out, man. If you like horror books, do it. All right, Image. I got a couple titles from Image. Monstrous, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm behind. I didn't read number 4. Now, I think that this or the next issue might be the conclusion of this story arc. The writing in here by Marjorie Liu is very, very dense. Lots of issues explored, heavy issues like genocide, war, you name it. And to be honest, I think I'm just going to keep collecting the issues until the arc runs out, and I'm just going to read it all in one shot. The artwork by Sana Takeda is phenomenal, dude. It is phenomenal. The world gets more and more fleshed out from what I read in the reviews each issue. Maika, she's the main character of the story. The taglines for the book were saying that she's confronted by a powerful archaic, which is kind of a wizard class. There's kind of like a lot of magic and sorcery in these issues as well. She's confronted by this magician, but she also has this entity that has been like growing inside of her, and she's learning to deal with that and what that means in her life. Like in one of the issues, it was like transforming her body and making her morph into all kinds of different things. Now, I'm not sure if that was really happening or if that was just kind of some kind of psychosis that she was going through. But, yeah, I'm sorry I'm not really giving this justice. But from what I did read in this book, I really enjoyed it. I am going to stick with it. There are some anthropomorphic characters in this, and you do have cats with 2 or 3 tails, and you can never go wrong with that, can you? Can you ever go wrong with samurai wielding cats? I think not, people. And finally, I got Drifter number 10. I am so glad to see Nick Klein's artwork again. Written by Ivan Brandon. This story returns to Abram Pollux, the stranger in the strange land, where we were last left. He had made it, ventured to the dark side of the planet. He needs to get back home, but he doesn't quite know how to do it. And in this backwater of a town, this backwater planet, it has its own set of rules, own set of nasty creatures and factions. You have these strange people that were living in the mines that we learn bit by bit, drip by drip, the powers that they have. My camera is not doing justice for the artwork of Vic Klein. I mean, he is just a phenomenal artist. He's one of my favorite artists. I love his artwork, man. And I'm just so glad that this story has started again. I guess it's customary for Image Comics, at the conclusion of each story arc, they go on a break. And I was reading in the back of this issue that I guess Abram Pollux paints all these panels. And I guess you can kind of tell when you really look at it. So it takes even longer to get the artwork done. And they said that maximum, I guess in Ivan Brandon's write-up that he did of this process, that they can only get out about 8 or 9 issues a year maximum. So that's pretty phenomenal, dude. And makes it feel like such a privilege to be able to read this book. So if you were digging Stranger in a Strange Land kind of stories, this is your book, man. Kind of reminds me of like Fallout 4 or something like, I don't know, what's the video game that has the Handsome collection? Deadlands or something? Borderlands, maybe? Kind of reminds me of a bit like that. Kind of that kind of theme, that kind of ilk. But anyway, dude, that's enough of me rambling. This is the conclusion of number 83, the Hump Day Haul. Now I gotta just pick out a cover of the week, and it's pretty tough, man. There's some good ones. But I think that I'm kind of feeling... Oh my god, I really like the Catwoman, but I'm going to go with Mr. Abe Sapien. I just really love the Broom Home with the tapes and the cassettes, and just how desolate and isolated Abe Sapien looks. And almost like the way that Broom Home is looking the other direction. It's like he was turned his back on Abe. You know, he was lying to him, being a bit deceptive, not letting him on. Knowing that Abe has always had these struggles with his identity and who he is. That, my friends, is the psychology of Abe Sapien and the Mignola books. You can't, these books are the best, dude. They really are. And the one thing that I really like about Mignolaverse books, as opposed to, the Marvels and the DCs, their books have long-lasting ramifications, dude. So, like, when something major happens, it happens. There's, like, no turning back. There's no, like, oh, this is post-crisis Superman. This wasn't that Superman. You know what I'm saying? This isn't Earth 2 type bullshit. This is, like, permanent, long-lasting changes. So it makes you more invested. Trust me, it does. Check out the Mignolaverse, dudes. You won't regret it. Alright, that's Philly Guts with another comic book haul. Bye!